Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Thank you for attending this forum. Today the topic that we will talk about is can money buy happiness? Before we start our forum, let me introduce myself and our panels. My name is Muhammad Hazmi bin Hasdi as the moderator. There are four panels that involved in this forum. The first panel is Ms. Nur Aisyah Najwa binti Abdul Rahim, Counselor of Counseling Unit in UiTM. The second panel is Ms. Emilia Elisa binti Nur Azmi, Public Motivator. Next, Mr. Abdullah Fahim bin Amiluddin, Student Representative Council of UiTM Cawangan Tapah. And the last one, Dr. Aina Hidayah binti Muhammad Zulkifli, Professor of Psychology. My first question that I will ask to all panels, can money buy happiness? Let's start with Ms. Nur Aisyah Najwa.
Thank you for our moderator, Mr. Hazmi. I will start with a simple statement. Sharing is caring. By sharing the wealth that comes from having money makes you happy. I might sound materialistic who only thinks about dollar, but the fact that you can't deny is when you are sharing, you feel unconditional happiness as we could make other people happy by sharing our money. Besides, we also feel the entire happiness as we could buy our loved one a nice and expensive gift using the money we work for. There is actually a living proof in Malaysia, which is Ustad Abid Liu. He is a man who perfectly fits with this claim. He donates his money to help difficult people, and a few days ago, we saw in the news that Ustad Abid Liu helped zoo negara animals by donating food. Now, not only people, we also could share the money and the happiness with animals too.
Thank you, Ms. Nur Aisyah, for your take on this topic. So let's move on to our next panel, our public motivator, Ms. Emilia Elisa.
Thank you, Mr. Azmi. Let us think on that while giving a thought to this. In my point of view, this might be a little different. As to me, the key to happiness is actually by practicing gratitude and contributing to other people's lives. Sharing your wealth is nice, but your money somehow is limited. Happiness is not always about having lots of money, but it should root from pure love and care. Not everyone expects to receive money from someone else to be happy. In contrast, they might actually need someone who can fill the emptiness in their heart and life. These days, stress might be the main cause of unhappiness. A heart-to-heart talk with someone you trust can help you to avoid toxic feelings and start a fresh perspective. You can reach them by talking about their problems, such as what have been bothering them emotionally that might affect their feelings. Most people who are facing stress tend to keep everything to themselves too. So, social support can help people feel less stressed and also improve health and have a better quality of life.
Thank you, Ms. Emilia Elisa, for sharing her wisdom. Then let's continue with Mr. Abdullah Fahim.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. That is a very interesting way to look at this topic, but I believe everyone knows the phrase, money cannot buy you happiness. It turns out that this not entirely the truth. Money definitely can buy you to a certain degree of life satisfaction, depending on how much wealth you have and how you spend it. Simply by having money, all of your basic needs, taxes, and day to day expenses will be covered, and all of that will definitely help you to be happy in life. All of this information and statements are also based on a research that involves 450,000 American civilians. Money is important and able to make us happy because it can buy you anything you desire. It can buy you expensive cars, huge, comfortable, and luxurious mansion, diamond and gold jewelries, and all of that are possible to have in your life with the help of money. Money is also crucial for your studies. Money is definitely can buy you any book you want and any stationeries you need. Money can even help you study abroad where you can be exposed to new cultures and discover many new things in life.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Fahim, for the ideology. Last one, let's continue with Dr. Aina Hidayah.
Wow, that's a good point, Mr. Abdullah Fahim. I'm so glad to be one of the panelists here, but I disagree with your point. As for me, it may be wasting money extremely common, but often overlooked ways, such as in-game purchases. Most of us top up money in game for buy skin, diamond and others. For example, Mobile Legends, PUBG, Valorant and others. I know how hard this habit is to break, but those RM50 and RM72 ringgit purchases here and there will add up, and you will suddenly be looking at your bank statement with a whole lot of shame and regret. Remove your credit card info from any sites or apps when you play games. And if you get really frustrated by any level you just can't seem to beat, Google a how-to guide. Moreover, even though I'm a professor of psychology, but for me, I not agree with your point where money can help us to get everything we need for studies. In my opinion, money maybe help you with your studies, but even if you have tremendous amount of money, it still will not help you to get far in your studies without self-dedication. I personally think the most important key to be successful in study is to dedicate yourself in your study. You have to put in hours and a lot of effort to be successful. Inshallah, with effort, nobody can judge effort. Everything will come your way when you pour your blood, sweat and tears in your studies, and money can buy that dedication.
Wow, those are great opinions. So let's continue our forum by asking them a question. Let's start with Miss Emilia. Does happiness come from within and nothing external?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Yes, it does. Happiness is an internal decision you make as it sources from making wise choices, including to be happy. You can be happy even when things around you are nothing like how you want it to be. Some people think happiness comes from wealth or money, but the fact is numerous things can be done to make you enjoy your life better. For example, Kendall Jenner, who is a well-known model in the modeling world, said she felt left out and alone a lot of time, which is recently documented on Keeping Up with Kardashians. Yes, she has a lot of jobs in modeling and gains money all over the world with her jobs. But somehow, she constantly feels like the outcast as her siblings are getting closer to one another when she is away working. She is missing out on the lives of her nieces and nephews and does not have much time to spend with her family. According to a study published in the journal Emotion, people at the lower end of the income scale focus more on relationships and enjoy caring for others rather than people who have high income as they will focus more on themselves. This shows that not everyone who has everything in this world is actually happy, but eventually, even the poor people can achieve their own happiness without wealth.
How about you, Miss Aisha? Do you agree with Emilia?
I beg to differ, Miss Emilia. Money can buy happiness with a self-care too. For a very simple example, when you are having a rough day, and when you go to a salon for having a Thai massage or simple things like having a haircut at a nice and beautiful salon, don't you feel happy? If you do not have money, you can't experience stuff like this. This is why having money can lead to a comfortable life as well as happiness. Having money also makes us have a better option when making a decision in life. It's safe to say not everyone get happiness by just by emotion. There are people who get more satisfaction and happiness by spending their money on things they love.
Okay, next, Dr. Aina. Can money create a problem to us?
Absolutely yes. Having wealth create worries and fears. The rich have to manage their money or their financial planners worry about losing it all. The rich can overspend, go into debt and bankruptcy, just like anyone else. The wealthy can get swindled. This will make us feel bad to get on with life if we had no money either in bank or hand. Literally, worrying about money messes up the way we function. This seems obvious, but what is not so obvious is that this fear is not limited to the poor. It seems that having more does not cause less anxiety. Granted, the wealthy don't lie awake at night worrying about paying the electric bill. They do, however, cringe when they hear reports that could topple their status of wealth. Yet, some money fears creep in because the wealthy seem to see themselves as sitting on a leash where their money could be in jeopardy. Even if someone asks the question, poor people worry about money. What do rich people worry about? 69% answered money, but seriously, 48% of well-off boomers who have more than 1 million save for retirement fear not having enough for later in life. Surprising. Why? Because most of people think having more money will make them less afraid, make them feel safe and secure, but maybe the fear around money is present whether or not you have it. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, if I only had a little money, my worries will go away? And what is that fear creating? Anxiety, ill healthy, having money doesn't seem to guarantee freedom from worrying about it.
How about you, Mr. Abdul Fahim? Do you agree with Dr. Aina?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I'm not entirely agree with Dr. Aina because being wealthy is also a responsibility. You can manage your wealth with the money you have. With the help of money, you can hire personal accountant or assistant to take care of your wealth. That is the advantage of having money. You can pay people to manage your work. When you have a lot of money, you have to definitely spend it wisely. Most rich people hire an advisor to help them make money while also spending it. For example, Ustad Aviliu is a very humble rich man that spent a lot of his own pocket money to help those in need. And surely the amount of money that he spent was not little. He makes it up by starting his own grocery shop and doing a few businesses to make it up. So the amount of money that he spends and the money that he gains will be balanced. My conclusion is how much money a person needs to be happy varies. Happiness may depend on how much money is required to cover your own basic needs and what brings you joy personally. For one person, that might be a season ticket to Los Angeles Lakers basketball games. For someone else, it might be a massage once a month or a new pair of sneakers. Ultimately, money can increase the potential for life satisfaction depending on how you're spending it. If you spend money on experiences or items that align your values, you will increase your happiness.
Okay, thank you to all our honorable panels for sharing their thoughts about the topic. To conclude, money can give us happiness, but sometimes not. It depends on how we look on it. All the panel's opinion can be accepted by all. I would like to thank all the panel that joined today. I hope all the information can be obtained from this forum.